In this exercise, we will be setting up the project and we will be understanding the concept behind the multi-controller architect in iOS framework. So I'll click on the Xcode. I'll say create a new Xcode project. We'll start with single view application. I know there's a ready-made template provided by the Apple, but we'll start with single view application and we'll be creating the entire architect from scratch. So I'll say next. I'll say project 2, Nimap Infotech, Swift, iPhone, no use of core data. I'll say next. I select the tab bar controller folder and I'll say create. Now, before we move ahead and start creating the project, we have to first understand the architect behind the multi-controller across the mobile application. Now, at the root, we have a window. Window says I can attach only one controller at a time. So you can imagine in real world, you are a valet parker. You have given 10 cars to handle. Now, ideally, you need a wall which has 10 hooks. So each hook will be given a number, and when a customer comes, you can take his car and give the token with respect to that number. So when a customer comes back, you can check the token number and release the key from the respective hook. Now that's an ideal way of having a better user experience for the valet parker. Now the issue comes that the architect of the wall tells you can only drill one hook. So now how will a valet parker manages the 10 keys? If we try to put every key inside a hook, it will be always a tedious process to remove a particular key from that single hook. So what you can do in that case, you can create a key holder which has one hook and spawns the 10 subhooks. So in this case, your wall doesn't get drilled with single hole. It's already drilled with single hole. There are no 10 holes on the wall, and at the same time you get your 10 subhooks. So same architect is used in mobile industry. Windows says I can only take one root view controller on any mobile platform, whether it's iOS, Windows, BlackBerry, Android. Now, so in iOS framework, they provide two spatial controllers which can hold array of subcontrollers. The one is UI tab bar controller and the second one is UI navigation controller. UI tab bar controller holds fixed length of controllers. So if you initialize UI tab bar controller with 5 controllers, then it will hold only 5 controllers. So your UI tab bar controller is a parent hook which spawns 5 subhooks, whereas UI navigation controller is like a stack. UI navigation controller says initialize with one controller and then you can add multiple controllers whenever you need and you can remove them whenever you don't need. So this both when a root view controller is either a tab bar controller or a navigation controller, in that case you can say your application is multi-controller enabled. So we will start first with the UI tab bar controller and then we will move to the UI navigation controller. So in the next exercise we will be understanding in more detail what all infrastructures are needed while creating a tab bar controller in your application.